It all started in July 2025 when everything was peaceful. I went to school, studied daily, and had great friends. I was healthy and everything felt blissful, like floating in a warm summery haze with the sun's glow wrapped around you. The days felt as soft as cotton candy, and every breath I took felt light and effortless. Suddenly, like a incoming storm, I was hit with a very severe psoriasis outbreak. It was confusing, because at the moment, I didn't know what I did wrong. I thought I was staying as healthy as I could. For those who don't know, psoriasis is a chronic autoimmune disease where your immune system attacks your own healthy skin cells, causing them to grow too fast, up to 10 times than normal. This leads to thick raised plaques of inflamed red skin that can itch, burn, or be sore. And in cases like mine, I had patches or rather plaques covering up to 70% of my body. These plaques often appear on my elbow, knees, lower back, or trunk, flaring up in cycles. 125 million people worldwide suffer from psoriasis, and while it can affect anyone and everyone, women and young people like me are affected by it the most. Nearly 60% of people with psoriasis face some kind of daily life problem. Flare-ups often spark feelings of dread as memories of pain and itching floods in. As I said before, I thought I was doing everything correctly, but yet here I was again, stuck in this vicious storm. Nevertheless, I tried to keep calm and stay composed, because you see, this illness has been with me since birth. It was like a terrible curse. So, I thought I knew what to expect. Use the ointments I got from the doctors, and in a few weeks, I'll be fine again. But the more I started observing myself, a very scary realization hit me. I wasn't getting better, and my current ointments couldn't help. You see, these ointments were magical. They had helped me in the past, and they eased my pain, both mentally and physically. But now, they seem to have no effect at all. And it took solace in my heart, which wasn't good because this illness, like a parasite, feeds on negative emotions like stress, panic, and distress. The rashes were the worst I've ever seen on my body. It got to a point where the fabric of my clothes felt like sandpaper running across my wounds. Rough, gritty, burning with every tiny movement. It was unbearable. I couldn't sit, stand, or even sleep comfortably. The worst thing is, I couldn't bear seeing myself. The rashes looked like the surface of a barren planet. Rough, dry, bumpy with cracked craters everywhere. Everything looked disgusting and even scary to see. I was staring at the mirror, that cruel mirror from H.P. Lovecraft's tale. But the lonely guy finally sees his own face. It hit me the same way. A total stranger, not me, ticking around, staring back. I turned away from the mirror as much as I could. I couldn't bear seeing myself. It all seemed hopeless, and all my mom could do was try to help a sad-looking son. Something I've learned on my psoriasis journey is that what happens in the skin doesn't stay in the skin. Mental health and psoriasis are intertwined, like two sides of the same coin. Dr. Richard Fry says the idea we can separate them is outdated. People with psoriasis are 39% likely to get more depression and 31% more anxiety. The connection, inflammation links it all. As stress and anxiety flares up, so does psoriasis. And when psoriasis flares up, so does stress and anxiety. It was like a cycle. My body was fighting itself. Soon, I became pretty depressed. I would lay down in my bed all day, barely moving, doing nothing. I didn't have a choice. I had to stay idle, since me moving made me experience more pain. Sometimes, eerie voices in my head would whisper self-hatred. And during this time, I also lost some friends who kept contact with me as soon as I became ill. I was sad, but then I coped with the thought that at least now I knew who was there for me and who weren't. One night, when was gone, lights off, everything crumbling away, I forced myself back to the mirror that I held in my mind. That mirror from H.P. Lovecraft's tale, where the lonely guy finally sees his own monstrous face. But this time, I stayed longer. I no longer run. On the left side was my prison, shame twisting everything. Psoriasis and stress fed each other in a negative mind-body cycle. More shame about my condition meant more shame about being weak, pouring fuel on the fire of distress. Then came the crack, the turning point. I was staring into the split reflection. It hit me. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's a fracture letting light pour through. Soon, bravery kicked in. Real bravery. Not kind of faking it tough, but choosing to face it head on. Strength became fuel as I told myself things would get better. I had hope. With hope came resilience. Resilience meant rising again and again, no matter what. On the other side of the crack came the right side. With it emerged self-awareness, maturity, and acceptance. The mirror didn't change, my mind did. What happens in the skin leads the mind back. This crack built a cycle. However, things did not get back together immediately, but it unlocked something powerful inside me. Stuck in bed, Wyman's gone, friends gone, I grabbed my phone. Not for games or drone schooling, but for real research. Up to this point, I only knew that my condition was chronic, that it was incurable. So, I dove deep and hunted down home treatments. With hope on my side and a bit of desperation, I spent nearly a full day flat on my bed, doing nothing but schooling studies. Two massive revelations hit me. First, good and bad. First, the bad. My teenage life was poison. Sleepless nights, junk food, isolation, and most importantly, stress. Truth be told, I knew it was bad, but arrogance blinded me. I didn't see how it all piled up, fueling my walls flared up. It was a slow sabotage of my body and mind. The good thing, I could fight back. A healthy life actually calms this beast. No need for fancy medication to gain control. It's chronic, sure, but manageable. That connection lit sparks of hope in my heart. Think at first, then steady, gripped and tight, I dragged myself from regression's pit. However, things did not snap back together overnight. Instead, it took weeks of real hard, gritty work. I started small, slipping food into junk meals, stealing 30 minutes of extra sleep. Small, yes, but these were the building blocks in building a steady momentum. Medication bridged the gap, calming the storm while my habits rooted deep. Everything came together as I told myself, things are getting better. Positivity flickered as I realized I wasn't helpless, I could act. Week by week, my body signaled, turn around. Pain dulled, strength came back. And once again, I stood tall again as a healthy human. I am one of millions of people with psoriasis. But if you zoom out, Roughly 33% of the world carries some kind of chronic shadow, be it cancer, psoriasis, not always curable. But hear this: never surrender, force breakthroughs, see strength in your own vulnerability. The connection between your mind and body is the key. Every life is precious, worth more than gold or diamonds. In any storm, you choose. Let it rule you or rule it back. The mirror showed me that the first step in stopping something is accepting it and facing it. Thank you.